Hi, I'm Gardner with Gardner Furniture Co. This video is part of a series on how to put together our furniture if you've purchased our furniture and we've shipped it to you. First of all, thanks for the purchase. In our package, you're going to find a couple different items. First, an assembled back piece, an assembled base piece, and then two assembled arm pieces. Between each of those pieces, we're going to be able to build a Boulder chair. In your package, you received a couple items: a square driver bit, a glue bottle, and a hardware kit with all the screws and the bolts that you'll need. You also need a couple tools for this project. You're going to need a cordless driver or screw gun, 9/16 inch wrench, or a 9/16 inch socket. Our first step in assembly is to take our assembled base piece and our assembled back piece. We're going to take some glue and glue our two joints where we connect the base to the back. Lay down a thin bead and then take the back piece, and we're going to want it flush to both sides and the back. I'm going to take my finger and use it to line up the initial edge first, and then come over to the other edge and lay that down. Once I'm convinced that the board is centered between the once I'm convinced that the back is centered between the two boards and that it's flush with the back, I'm then going to screw it in. You've been provided with 4 screws to screw the back in. Please note the screws are in at a slight angle to prevent the screw gun from hitting the back support. Double check the alignment. Our back is now attached to the base piece. Our next step is to attach the arms and the leg pieces. We're going to take our chair and turn it onto its side and apply a small amount of glue around our bolt hole. Take the 3/8 inch carriage bolt and put it into the hole in the leg pieces, and then line those bolts up with the holes in our base piece. Your legs should be marked A and B. Make sure that we line up our corresponding pieces to the corresponding letters. You may have to push it a little bit to get everything to go into place. I'm going to use a small hammer to drive the carriage bolts all the way in. Make sure that the shoulder is firmly seated into the wood. Then, using a washer and a nut for each bolt, we'll attach the legs. After I've hand tightened the nut, I use either my socket wrench or my wrench to tighten it down. We now flip the chair over to do the other side. As we get ready to attach the leg/arm piece on the other side, we start off by applying a little bit of glue around each of the bolt holes and lining up our leg/arm piece once again by attaching the carriage bolts through each of the holes and then lining those holes up with the corresponding bolt holes on the base piece. Make sure that the arm goes over the top of the middle support, and because of the slight pressure that the back piece is going to create, we might need to create just a little bit of pressure to get the front carriage bolt to go in. We then use the hammer to drive it home. Looking on the inside of the chair, we take our washer and our nut and finger tighten those onto the bolts. Once they're finger tight, go ahead and tighten it until snug with your socket wrench or box wrench. At this point, it may seem like your chair is already assembled, but we need just a couple more screws to finish it up. On the back middle support, you'll find 2 holes on each arm piece where we'll need to put 2 screws in, and then on each of the legs on the inside of the base, here, 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 and here, we'll need to attach 2 screws each. So for a total of 10 screws, and the chair's done. Let's do some of the legs first. Two on either side of the bolt, and then move into the arm. We have 2 on the back paddle. Once we've put all those screws in, all we need to do is turn the chair over and test it out. Thanks once again for putting together and purchasing a Gardner Furniture chair.